Good afternoon, it's that bloke on a motorbike. I'm out for a bit of a ride round on the Mighty BMW this afternoon. It's got a brand new MOT on it and everything's going absolutely wonderful, so I thought why not go out for a ride on it. An update on the Classic 350 is that it's selling the dealers. I went across today to speak to them, and the problem is trying to get the parts, and it's with them going from MotoGP across to Royal Enfield. Apparently they sent all the parts back, but they haven't done the inventory yet, so they can't get any bits or anything. So a bit of a stuck situation. I found out that the bits that they need, the two major parts that we're looking for, or waiting for I should say, is the ignition and steering lock assembly, and also the bottom yoke. It's they've bent the bottom yoke when they've tried to, when they have smashed the steering lock off. So I've had a quick look myself on Hitchcock's, and yes, I can get the steering lock, but no, I cannot get the yoke assembly. That's not available at present according to Hitchcock's website. So a couple of other contingency plans in place to see if we can expedite a return to the road again, because I'm really missing it. But overall it's not looking that good on Royal Enfield. It's the first time I've ever thought, you know, there's something wrong here, and purely and simply that is because, well, there's no backup. If you're going to make a major change like that, really what you should do is get the spare parts backup sorted before you get the other spare parts back. Then dealers have got a continuous supply. So they're going to contact them again this week and find out what's going on, and we'll just have to take it from there. But at least I've got the Mighty BM to get back out on the road. So the video that I put out last night, Friday, had quite a few good comments about it. Where, you know, the one about why do we drive on the left when the rest of Europe drives on the right, and I said if you've got any other questions then let me know and I'll see if I can find out. Well, one question that has come in from Dr. Maturin, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, mate, on that one. But he asks, on country roads in UK, why do we have the arrows that's in the centre? Now I'm going to assume that what you mean by that is the arrows on the white lines that point back into the left hand side. And what they actually do is they are pullback arrows, so they're telling you that you're coming up to some form of hazard where overtaking is not allowed. So it's advanced markings as to getting back in, and there's usually two of those before you get to the hazard itself. So I started to think, right, why have we got white lines? So I looked it up, and there's this thing comes up about it was during World War II, to make it so that in the blackout you could see the centre of the road. Well, that's not quite true. It's true of one thing, we'll come to that in a second. First white lines that were used anywhere were in Ashford in Kent, on a couple of really bad bends, and they were painted on the road in 1914 so that it separated traffic going around the bend. And then other roads started to get all these, and it wasn't until I think it was 1920s when they were standardised, and they started using white lines then across junctions for stop and give way, and then they were adopted more and more throughout the 30s for road markings. So as you can see there in the middle of this road, we've got the line, which is the line is longer than the gap, and what that means is there's a hazard. In this case it was a bend on that last one, we've still got the hazard lines in the centre of the road there, and if you see that on the right there now, there's a junction sign off to my right hand side. So that's warning you when you see that. Now can you see that they've changed and they've gone to short lines and long gaps? So all that is the centre of the road. So it's just dividing left and right. When they get bigger, as they have done there, some form of hazard. As you can see, we've got a right turn junction, and then we've got a bend just after it. So they're very useful, and they've adopted them for all sorts of things. So if you've got very short lines and very long gaps, that's going to do a lane division, and that's just on a, you know, like a dual carriageway or a motorway. And gradually over the years they've changed the colours as well. So in the 1950s they started bringing in yellow lines at the side of the road, and then that brought in parking restrictions. So depending on how many lines there are, depends what the restriction is. And basically, if you've got a short line, we'll get around this one here. Basically, if you've got the yellow line at the left hand side of the road, a single yellow line means you can't park there for less than one working day, and there'll be a signpost somewhere around it at frequent intervals telling you what those times are that you must not park there. If you've got a double yellow line, that means that you can't park, not wait, you can't park for more than a working day. Usually that would be, say, 8 AM until 8 PM. So that's normally more than your 8-hour working day. If you've got broken yellow lines at the side, there is parking allowed, but then you've got to look to see what the parking restrictions are again on the little boards that are up posts. So there's these lines, depending on colours, mean a heck of a lot. They've started changing them as well on lay-bys. Ooh, that was slippy. Yeah, they started using them on lay-bys, and you know, to tell you on motorways where you've got entrance and exit slip roads where you can and can't go in. They're all in highway code. It's really useful having a look at that. But back to the wartime bit. During the war, to make it easier for pedestrians and safer for pedestrians walking on roads that were completely unlit, they started painting white lines down the left edges of each carriageway. In other words, both sides of the road. And I think you might be able to see that on the film there. We've got left and right edge markings, and what that does, it just lets the traffic know, the people know that's driving and walking, it lets them know where the edge of the road is. So white lines, extremely useful, and if you read them, it can make your life, or does make your life, a heck of a lot easier to know when you can do something or when you're not supposed to do something. Tell you what, that bit back there, I don't know what it was, whether a bit of oil on the road or what, but it was sure slippy. The bike suddenly decided it were going to slur to one side of the road. Not a problem though. I think what I might do is call it quits there for today. I've got soggy leathers on. I'm going to go back, get changed, try and dry my leathers out and sit and relax. So thanks for joining me on this little amble about, on the Mighty BMW. If you subscribed, thank you very much, I appreciate it. I do love all your comments, so keep them coming. And subscribe if you haven't already done so, it does give a big boost to the channel. Ride safe, keep the shiny side up, rubber side down, and I will see you out on the road. Bye for now, folks.